Sent Network.
Now we're coming to our fifth and last practice in making disciples. We began with the practice of prayer, and then the practice of sharing the gospel, then gathering people together, teaching them to obey the teachings of Jesus. And now the fifth practice is to multiply. And the tool that we are using for this one is called the Mustard Seed Fellowship. And the Mustard Seed Fellowship is a group of people who are meeting together on a regular basis, usually once in a week, for the purposes of growing in Jesus and of being equipped to go out and to make him known. And so the way it multiplies is that the members of the group will then go out and do the same thing that you're doing in your fellowship, which I'll get to that a little bit more at the end. But right now I just wanted to share what are the components of a fellowship, or what do you do when you meet. So you found your person of peace, he's gathered people together, you've maybe done a Bible study with them, and now you're ready to say, can we come back on a regular basis? Can we come back every Tuesday afternoon and we meet together, and we have a fellowship, and we continue to pursue following Jesus. So the first thing that we do is we divide this again into three parts. Our fellowship meetings, the first part is to worship. And there's two aspects of that. We worship, first of all, maybe by singing a song of worship, or by reading a psalm from the Bible, maybe from just speaking out our words of adoration or praise unto the Lord. But we do like a very specific active form of worship like that. And then we share the vision for the group. And this is part of worship because we are aligning our vision with the vision of God. And worship is not just music, but it is us bowing our hearts and submitting to Jesus. And so we speak out, what is the vision of this group? Because this is the vision that Jesus has for us, and we're going to lay aside our own vision, our own ambitions when we come together, and we're going to pursue what Jesus wants. And we say that, very simply, the vision of the Mustard Seed Fellowship, why we're here, is we're here because we want to grow more like Jesus. We want to know him more. And then secondly, we want to be equipped to go out and to bring others to Jesus and to make more disciples. So to know Jesus and to make him known, to put it simply, that is the vision. And we want to share that every week because we want that to get into people's hearts, that this isn't just something that they come to, but there's something that has a purpose, and it's something that they're expected to go out and do also. So the first aspect, the first part, and this part may not take very long at all, but it is the introductory part into our fellowship each week of worship. Then the second one, we can call it where we're practicing to love one another, or another way of looking at it is one to another ministry. How do we minister to one another? And there's different ways that we do that. Very typically, we will do what we call a check-in. And that's where each person in the group has the opportunity to share maybe something good that has happened to them over the past week, a testimony they have, something that they're thankful for, and then something that they're struggling with or that they would like prayer for. If you have a big group, you can divide them into smaller groups to do this, but if you're not too many people, then you can just do it all together. And everybody shares, and then it's great after they share, then you can pray for one another right there. And there's also opportunity, maybe if someone has a need, maybe the group can meet that need in a very practical, physical kind of way. You can also exercise spiritual gifts. Maybe the Lord has put a scripture on your heart for a specific person, a word of knowledge, a word of wisdom, or praying for healing. We're kind of open to that happening also in this space, and you can encourage it by teaching people about spiritual gifts. And then the last thing that we do in this middle part of ministering to one another is we do a training. Because again, each person in your fellowship, your goal, your ambition for them is that they would be able to go out and make more disciples. And so you might train them in one of the 5 practices, prayer, or sharing the gospel, or finding personal peace, etc. Or you might just share with them a training about your own experiences in making disciples. But anything that helps to equip them to go out and to do the same kind of work that you're doing in this fellowship. So now the third part then is the obey part. And that is where we do the Discovery Bible Study. We already talked about that in the last practice. That is how we teach people to obey, and that is a central part of the Mustard Seed Fellowship. So again, there's accountability where you ask everybody, did you do what you committed to last week? Then there's the Bible where you summarize it multiple times. you ask those questions. What does this passage teach about God? What does it teach about people? And then there's the commit part where everybody shares what are they going to commit before the Lord to do in the coming week to obey his word, and who are they going to share this message with or this passage with. So that is the Mustard Seed Fellowship. And again, this helps the discipleship to multiply because you're sharing the vision each week, and so everybody is being grounded in that. This is why we're here. It's not only to receive, but it's to give. And it's not only to give within this group, but it's to give out to those who are still not following Jesus. It also multiplies because every week there's a training. So if someone is being equipped for the work of making disciples, and obviously that is for a reason, so they can go out and do it. And then finally, it's a way of multiplication because the people that are in your fellowship can remain in your fellowship. They'll continue coming week after week after week where they are learning to obey together, where they are being mentored and discipled by you. But at the same time, they're choosing another day during the week where they're going out and they're leading their own fellowship. They have found their own person of peace. They are teaching them to obey, and they're fellowshipping with them every week. And so there's the fellowship that they are leading and pouring into and discipling people. And then there's the fellowship where they are coming as a member to continue to receive training and mentoring and encouragement for the work that they're going out to do. So that is the Mustard Seed Fellowship. It is a tool that we use to multiply, which we want our discipleship. We want all of our disciples to not just end with them, but we want them to take another step and disciple others, so that ultimately we can see disciple-making movements launched in our city, in our communities.